Hey, sports fans, welcome to Sports Night with Jorge. We are going to talk a big game coming up on Sunday at 4:30 p.m. as the Pittsburgh Steelers would visit the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. Now, I'm going to tell you not actually my pick because right now I got it even across the board. Even though when they played the first time, the Steelers won 18-16. And I'll give you some statistics from that game. But first, let's talk about both coaches. Uh, this is one thing that I'm looking at these two coaches that they have competed with each other. By the way, Mike Tomlin is 21-16 against Baltimore. John Harbaugh is 15-20 against the Steelers. Now the Steelers have swept the Raven 3 of the past 4 seasons. Now I'm telling you, the defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers has been the key on all these games. But let me give you a Harbaugh record since he's been a coach in the NFL. Overall, he's 181 and 114 losses with a 614 winning percentage. He is 12-10 in the postseason. In the regular season, he's 169 and 104, a 619 percentage. Mike Tomlin also have a great record. He's 152 and 85 and two ties with a 640 percentage. Overall, 163 and 93 with two ties, a 636 percentage. Now, look at this. In the postseason, Harbaugh is 12-10, a 545 percentage. Mike Tomlin's 8-8 in the playoffs. He's actually at 500. Now, the key factor of this game, guys, that we're going to talk about, it's going to be Lamar Jackson. Now, look at Lamar Jackson stats against the Pittsburgh Steelers. His record is 2-5 against the Steelers. He has thrown 5 TDs, 8 interceptions, a rating of 66.7, which is not that bad. But the key thing here is right there. He has been sacked 22 times. This is something that my only concern with Lamar Jackson. Can he beat the Pittsburgh Steelers? All right, he's 2-5. He beat them twice. But he's had struggle to get over that hump to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, you're talking about actually a division that right now the Steelers are up 10 wins, 4 losses, with the Ravens at 9-5. If the Ravens wins this game, they'll be tied for the AFC North. Now, I'm going to look this overall, and then tomorrow, before I jump to any other conclusion here, I will speak of the matchup between the Eagles and the Commanders. But right now, we're talking about these key matchup, the Steelers and the Ravens. It's not going to be easy for either team. Now, let's talk back to the game that they played before. Okay, Lamar Jackson was 16 of 33 for 207 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. He was sacked twice. Okay, Derrick Henry had 13 carries for 65 yards, and I gave him 1 touchdown. His longest run was 31 yards. He had a 5.0 average. Lamar Jackson had a field day running the ball. He was 4 for 46 for 11.5 yards a carry. So this is the key factor here. Try to run the ball against the Pittsburgh Steelers, because look at the struggle that Pittsburgh win against Philadelphia this past Sunday. Okay, they took time of possession. They took the second half, and of course the fumble of which I think was a snap fumble, because I think you can't blame the running back. They took his eyes off it. I mean, these handoff that we give, in the game, anybody can see that, guys. So now Russell Wilson in that game, he was 22 for 36 for 205 yards with one interception, no touchdown, but he was sacked 4 times by the Ravens. Najee Harris had 18 carries for 63 yards for a 3.5 average. So, this is a game that both sides of the ball, I think if they could protect Lamar Jackson on the offensive side and make no mistakes and run the ball, they could beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. But if you give the ball to Russell Wilson, he might have a field day with your secondary. But you got to put pressure. Okay, that's one thing about pressure. Let me look at another stats. Russell Wilson is 2-2 versus the Ravens. He has 6 TDs and 2 interceptions, but he has been sacked 7 times. Now, of course, he has played with Pittsburgh one game, and he's 2-1 when he played for Seattle. So there's key matchup. You got to look ahead in this game that makes you think. With Lamar Jackson stats, and of course the only stats, my concern is the win and loss record, 2-5. This is the game that I think Baltimore needs to have more than Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh needs to have it to just take care of the division and move on. But these two head coaches, okay, all right, it's like they're one-on-one guys. They're actually one of the best coaches in the league right now, especially in that division between Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin. So once again, okay, for me the key matchup, if Derrick Henry can run the ball and help Lamar Jackson keep that offense on the field and get the Pittsburgh Steelers, okay, on the sideline, which is the offensive line, they got a chance to win. Now, remember, it is a divisional rival, so anything could happen. And that's one thing I was looking at actually their career. I mean, you have 2 great quarterback, 2 mobile quarterback, even though Lamar Jackson, you know, younger than Russell Wilson. So that's going to be a game that right now I haven't made my picks. I have it even across the board for both teams. Playoff implication, the division on the line. There's all this that can happen on Sunday to either team. Win all out. Pittsburgh win. They could wrap the division. If you see the NFL, how he put the schedule, that all the AFC North would face each other. It's amazing, guys. You got now the Bengals facing the Browns, and still they got to face their division. The Cleveland, I mean, it's just very interesting how the NFL did that schedule to end the season. And by the way, there's 3 games left. That's one thing you got to look at too. See, Pittsburgh have actually the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Bengals left. They got a tough schedule. Okay? They lost to the Eagles 27-13. But they follow with the Ravens, Chiefs, and Bengals. Another division game. So that's what I say. It's going to be kind of difficult for them, in that stretch. Now, if they can win this one, they have a better chance of, I'm going to say probably clinching their division if they win this one. Let me give you the Ravens schedule, which they don't have it easy either. Because Raven has the Steelers, the Texans, and the Browns. So it's a pretty tough stretch too for the Ravens. So, I look at this pick and I was looking at it, and it's even across the board. I mean, running backs, I think that they match up pretty well. A receiver, I might give the advantage to the Baltimore Ravens. Uh, Quarterback, close to. I mean, I know Lamar Jackson, you can say, well, of course, he's younger than Russell Wilson. But it's a key matchup of this game that you gotta, basically, I'm going to say it this way. Who plays the better defense? And I think Pittsburgh does. And they show that on game one, on week 11, when they face each other. Close game, 18-16. But my worry is the offensive line of the Baltimore Ravens. Protect Lamar Jackson, which in the beginning of the season, it was kind of hard because they were rookies. They just went in there, took over, learning the system, and they gotten better. They struggled a little bit on the road, but then they picked up again. So this is a key game for both teams. Now, in the comment section in the bottom, tell me who you like, who do you pick, and why you think they're going to win. I do my picks tomorrow. Like I said, right now I'm even across the board for both teams. It's hard to pick. Pittsburgh is not playing as well lately. The Ravens has picked it up, which that's another thing we have to look at. The Ravens are playing probably a little bit better ball than the Steelers. The only thing I'm worried about the Steelers is the defense. I mean, what defense is going to show up? The one that show up with the Eagles this Sunday? Last Sunday? That's my only concern. Because this is going to be a battle for the AFC North. Who's going to take it? The Ravens or the Steelers? And look at the stats, man. You got two winningest coach. Okay. Two great running backs. Two great quarterbacks. I mean, my only thing is Lamar Jackson is only 2-5 against the Steelers. And my concern is, like I said, 3 of the past 4 seasons has been the Steelers dominating the Ravens. So I don't know. Maybe Harbaugh has to pull a rabbit out of the hat for this one. Because this is it, guys. This is the one you have to win. I think it's going to be a tough matchup, probably both teams. What offense can score touchdowns? Might be a field goal battle. Who knows? But anyhow, that's all I got for you guys. That's my prediction so far. Like I say, it's even. I haven't predicted who's going to win. I have even across the board. I know that somebody's got to win. I got to pick somebody tomorrow. I'll decide tonight, make some numbers and look what I have to look. I look at injuries. I look at so many things. One concern I got is Pickens, the wide receiver. There's rumors out there that Tomlin that's not too happy with the guy. And not only too happy, he's trying to discipline him. Young guy, great receiver, has potential. And it's sad because sometimes pride and ego get to a player and they actually destroy their career. You play with 11 defense, 11 offense, and you work as a team. And that's the bottom line. You work as a team. You win as a team. It's not about an individual character in the field that wants to take over. But anyhow, let me know. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you once again. Listen, I'm getting people subscribing and people unsubscribing. That's okay, guys. I'm not going to get upset. I do a lot of short videos out there. I put a lot of stuff out there, a lot of details that I could get for you guys, man. But that's one of my games that I will recap tonight. So we got, once again, before I go, here's the AFC and NFC playoffs. Before I forget. Right now, if the playoff ends, the Chiefs is a bye. Detroit will be a bye. You will have the Commanders face the Eagles. You have the Packers facing the Buccaneers. and the Vikings versus the Rams. That's on the NFC. On the AFC, you will have the Chargers facing the Bills. You have the Broncos at the Steelers, which is the third seed, and you have the Ravens against the number 4 seed against the Texans. But that's just if the playoff end up now, but we still have 3 games. And those are actually the actual real AFC standings and NFC standings for the playoffs. Now, in the hunt, believe it or not, you still have the Colts, Miami, and the Bengals. They are the only 3 teams that had not been eliminated so far. Now, you see here, look at the Chargers, 8-6. Unfortunately, Miami lost against the Texans. I'm not going to get my hopes high, but I'm a firm believer anything can happen. Remember last year, Pittsburgh, out of nowhere, because of Miami loss or a Miami win, I forgot how it was, okay, they made it into the playoffs. They made the playoffs, and they were all the way down there. They started they had a bad season starting bad all year. Then at the end, they got hot, and they made it to the playoffs. Yeah, they got eliminated by the Buffalo Bills, but that's okay. So anything can happen, guys. I'm gonna keep my hope high, and I won't say so high, but I'm gonna keep my hope, and anything can happen. Any of these teams could struggle the last 3 games, lose three in a row, or they could win the next 3, and it's over for the 3 hunt teams, which will be the Colts, Dolphins, and Bengals. But Bengals are playing for something. Miami's also playing for something, and so is the Colts. So who knows, guys? But that's the NFL playoff picture right there. Once again, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for giving the like button. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. I appreciate it, guys. I love you guys, man. Stay positive. And don't forget, man, SNJ all the way, guys. Sports Night with Jorge. And said, just leave your comments. Tell me who you like. Who do you don't like? I mean, who do you pick? Especially in this game. Pittsburgh versus the Ravens. Once again, you guys have a good night. Have a blessed one. And I'll talk to you guys soon. And see you tomorrow on my pick against the Eagles and Commanders. That's another one I got to study. So, once again, have a blessed night.